Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I am joined once again by one of Wise Take's finest DFS analysts, Mr. CashinDFS. You could find him on Twitter at CashinDFS. Cash, how was your birthday weekend, bro?
Good.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't win money, but I didn't lose. I got all my money back with that last wreck.
I consider that a win. I mean, listen. I listened to obviously, like, I always listen to the calls when we have those shows. And I did hear you tell everybody to play the guys in the back because it's going to be crazy wrecks. Yada, yada, yada. Now, picking the right one, because there was so many wrecks, that was still a little more difficult. But hey, you had the right idea. It was Daytona. And I know we did have one member who had some success when, and then I think it was what you said, there was the $3 single entry. And
one up at the top.
And he did it by playing the guys in the back. So, all in all, if you got your money back on that race, I don't know much about NASCAR, but I do know Mr. SB did fill me in that it was wild. It was just wreck city.
I think it was 15 cars
by the time
end of the race.
Out of what?
Yeah,
40?
When it started with 40. They started 40.
Smashing Basil. Yeah. So it was a wild Sunday for sure. Or Saturday, actually. It was on Saturday, yeah. But hey, man, it was your birthday and you got to watch the race for once. That was, all in all, got your money back, didn't lose, got to enjoy a nice little race. And sounds good, man. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy.
I get to watch next week. Next week's on Saturday, too. So
look at that. You are on a roll right now, man.
I watch it on Sunday too. So.
I know. But you don't. Do you watch it live? Do you watch it from your phone?
Yeah, for the most part, all of it.
Figure that. The technology is a crazy thing nowadays, man. You can watch it like almost anything on your phone. It's great. It's pretty wild. Do you got one of the big phones? Like I got like the iPhone like 6S Plus or whatever. I got the big one.
No, I don't got the Plus. My old lady got the Plus. I got normal. It's too big. I don't need all that.
Yeah, no, you don't want the bigger screen though. You think it'd be worth it? Yeah.
I don't want an iPad on my ear when I'm talking on the phone.
You don't want an iPad on your ear.
I want a normal size phone on my ear when I'm talking on it.
I understand. I do. That makes sense. All right, man. Time to talk some baseball. We got a 9-game slate. Time to start this week off right with the first podcast of the week. That's what we do.
With this slate.
It is rough. It's funny because like there's good pitchers. It's just between pricing, matchup, lack of secondary options. Like it's rough to find the right combo. But we'll see what we come up with here on our first look. First up, we got Jeffrey Rodriguez of those Washington Nationals visiting Ivan Nova of those Pittsburgh Pirates. 86 degrees, 44% humidity out in Pittsburgh. I believe Pittsburgh is a slight favorite at -106, and the total here is 9. What do you think, Cash?
I thought it was Fetty. It ain't Fetty?
I'm pretty sure Fetty went to the DL. It was his spot, but he went to the DL. So I think right. So I think what I'm seeing here is it's going to be the other youngster.
I don't know nothing about that youngster because I don't have nothing in front of me. But it can't be. All right, I don't think he's worse than Fetty. It can't be worse than Fetty, right?
Fetty's been pretty bad.
Yeah. This pitcher slate really blows. That's what I'll say to start off.
Yeah, this guy's been getting his ass kicked. Just so you know, he's played. I'm gonna read you off his game log. So on June 19th, he played Baltimore. He gave up 2 home runs, 5 earned runs against Baltimore. Then he played Philly. Gave up 4 earned runs, 1 home run. And then he had 1 relief appearance against the Marlins. He did okay, but he literally pitched 1 inning, 13 pitches. So that's what you got to work with on this guy now.
I'm even considering Ivan Nova against these lefties, even though he's terrible against lefties. Like a 12.1 K percentage. That's just awful. His xFIP is 503 to lefties. It's everything. The guy's awful against lefties. And on this slate, I might even consider that at 5.6. Washington has not been good at all. I mean, they come out, they have a great lineup, so they're gonna have good games. But for the most part, they have been bad. So I might consider that. What's the temperature here?
It's going to
We
be
got some
warm.
hot temperature here.
It's going to be warm. It's not going to be like super hot, but I think, actually, 86. It's going to be kind of hot for the Northeast with 44% humidity. So it's kind of there.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. You could definitely play all these lefties except Daniel Murphy. I don't know if you're happy that Daniel Murphy is sucking since coming back.
A little bit. There's a little bit of satisfaction there. Not going to lie.
But I mean, I love the guy, but I can't play him now. But any other lefties you could play. Rendon you could play. You could play Washington. I don't think I'm going to, but definitely could. And then on the other side, they're at home, so I could look over here, but probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, I think the Washington is certainly interesting. I think some of their lefties that I know can hit sinkers, guys like Matt Adams. Bryce Harper's been so bad, but I know he's been like coming out early for BP. He's really trying to get it together. The Ivan Nova was one of the pitchers that the Dodgers destroyed in his last start. So I could play some of these lefties. Juan Soto's been impressive, but yeah, I agree. For the most part, they've been very disappointing. They got their guys back, Eaton and Murphy, and we've been waiting for them to kind of, okay, now the Nats are they're gonna crush it. They're just not doing it collectively. It seems like every time they do well, it seems to be like one player who's doing all the work, like Adams and like Trey Turner that one day, or Mark Reynolds the other day, Soto another day. It's like it's tough as a stack. Like they should come through, but when your best hitter is slumping and has been slumping for quite a while. It just seems like all the other dominoes kind of fall into place in a bad way.
I mean,
out of place.
If I was a Nationals fan, like I wouldn't be too upset about that because I'm a Red Sox fan, and as hot as they are, I just keep thinking, oh, they're gonna fall down to earth once October comes, and these guys might be white hot when October comes. So I wouldn't be too worried about it with this lineup if I was a Nationals fan because their lineup is nasty.
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, as long as they can just hang around to get in. You're right. I mean, when would you rather your team go hot? Would you rather your team be hot during the regular season and they can't finish in the playoffs? Or would you rather your team, struggle through the season but then get hot at the playoffs? I agree with that. But I do think Harper, Adams, and Soto are the immediate guys that pop out. I agree with Murphy. He's a guy that can't really hit the sinker all that well. And while he did hit a home run recently, everywhere in between, he's just looked bad. And there's a hint of satisfaction there. As far as this other kid, I mean, if we like the Nationals, you would think that we'd like some of these Pirates because this dude's been bad.
I mean, at home, I like to play them at home more than on the road.
Yeah. It looks like he's been a lot worse to lefties for the most part. I mean, he's got a 29.7% K rate to righties and a 7.4 to lefties. To give you some perspective there. Yeah. So maybe some of these guys like Polanco, Moran, Dickerson.
But Polanco's so expensive.
He is, I know. He is. But yeah, I think the bats here are the way to go. Although, like you said, the pitching is going to be rough. So we have to be open-minded. That's what I like to say. I like to call it being open-minded. Speaking of being open-minded, Chase Anderson of the Milwaukee Brewers, Cam's Milwaukee Brewers, visiting Jose Urena of the Miami Marlins. Total in this game currently sits at 7.5. The Brewers minus 148 currently at home. 89 degrees, 60% humidity. If they open up the roof, it could be a wild hitting atmosphere. But they'll probably close the roof because in Miami there's always like a chance for some kind of flood warning, flash flood rain, some crazy shit. So it's very rare they open the roof. But I'll give the weather anyway just in case. What do you got, Cash?
Are these other games makeup games that's starting at 7? They're not on the slate.
They're starting at 4 actually. Those games.
Oh,
right.
It says 7 right here.
Well, I think the second game start like the Phillies and Mets started. The first game's at 4, second's at 6.
There's a makeup game.
Okay. Yes, there's some makeup games. There are, and in fact, there's even a mini slate for the 2 early games. They have a 2-game early slate for the 4:05 starts.
Yeah, I've seen that those are 2 games slate.
Right. So it is double headers, and it looks like they're not on the main slates. Both of those guys are off the main slates.
Again, I'll say it again. I don't like this pitcher slate, so Milwaukee going into Miami. Jose Arena, maybe. I'm not necessarily in love with that price. But he was good his first game back. He threw, what, I was close to 80 pitches, I believe. 78 pitches. It was really good. That's Tampa. I mean, it's a different team, but this pitcher slate is really bad, in my opinion. Might want to pay up for 2 guys. I don't know. Chase Anderson, he's been much better. Like last year, much better. But 8.5. Oh my God, Miami sucks so bad. But that's no for me. I would rather take these lefties against Chase Anderson. Like Bohr. I'll take Bohr all day against him. And then on the other side, I probably am going to pitch Urena before I play them. Travis Shaw still lost at the plate.
He has been lost at the plate, hasn't he?
Yes, I just X him off. I don't even look at him. I got to check him, like, I don't know, every few days. See if he's actually started to do something. No, nothing. Good.
Yeah, not much going on there. Like Thames, Aguilar's been pretty hot. I think he hit like 2 home runs today or something like that. He's been pretty hot.
He's a beast. So
yeah, he's just a beast. Braun is on the DL yet again, 10-day DL.
Again?
Yes, yet again. He got put on there today with his oblique strain again. I would want to pick on these Brewers with Urena, and I'm trying to be open-minded because I know that we're going to be hurting for SP2s, but like with Kane back, and then you got Yelich coming back to Miami. And aside from the narrative, I mean, baseball, we know it's really tough for offensive players to do anything narrative-wise. But he's a guy that doesn't really strike out a lot, you know, like puts the ball in play. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. But Urena is pretty good at home.
He's much better against righties than lefties, though.
Yes, this is true. But guys like Saladino...
Has Milwaukee played there yet? Like, has he already played games down in Miami?
I don't think so.
They played one series there.
Did they already?
But maybe not.
Gorilski's
I thought they played one, but maybe not.
I mean,
but no, I agree with you. I mean, it's a lot different than basketball or even football.
Yeah.
You still got to put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, and like they have to pitch to you, like, you know, they're going to be wanting to step it up. Oh, it looks like you're right.
If they don't pitch to him, if they walk him, he can steal bases.
They did play Miami earlier this year, but it was in Milwaukee. But they did play Miami, though. You were right about that. And just so you know, they played a 4-game series in Milwaukee. And 2 out of those 4 games he smashed. He got a 20 in the second game they played, and the last game they played he got a 16. So some perspective. Faux that ass, as you would say.
This pitcher slate sucks.
It does.
I don't like your.
You gotta be open.
For sure.
One thing I will say about the Brewers is we've been watching a lot of guys coming in here striking them out. Now again, Lorenzo Cain's gonna hurt that a little bit. But Thames
and Yelich too.
Yeah, and Yelich, of course. But Thames, Saladino, Aguilar, as good as they are, I mean, they do still strike out. It's just, is Urena's stuff good enough? I don't know. Big ballpark. I tell you what, if they open up this roof, there's no way I'm going to Urena if they open up this roof. Because it is always hot and humid in Miami. Chase Anderson
against this terrible team. I know you don't like picking on Miami, but...
I don't, but like Chase Anderson is like the right guy to do it. Right? Like, it's normally the aces that Miami steps up against. Like, you see some of these weaker, like, you know, arms come in here. And then Chase Anderson's really good lately. Don't get me wrong. But we've seen them kind of come in at times, and, like, they do fine. Like, for instance, when Miami played the Mets, I remember that DeGrom had a hard time. Syndergaard had a hard time. But then Zach Wheeler went out there and dominated him. you know what I'm saying? So, maybe this is a good Chase Anderson spot. I don't like the price, but I did take a little peek, and I do agree with you. The pitching slates, I mean, the pitchers on the slate are tough. But we might have a couple that we can go to. For instance, in this next game, we've got Mike Minor, the lefty from the Texas Rangers, visiting Eduardo Rodriguez of CashinDFS's Boston Red Sox. 85 degrees, 42% humidity, 9-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to left center. Total is 9.5. Boston minus 207. What about your boy Eduardo?
Well, that's much better than Brian Johnson that we're gonna pitch.
When I saw that, I was like, okay, this pitching slate has got a little bit better for cash, at least a little bit better.
But still, I like the kid. I think he's good, but he almost never goes past 5 innings. Can't throw strikes. Oh my God. Texas against a lefty is a good thing. He's 8-4. Oh wow, look at that. He's pitched 6 innings, 2 games in a row. That's amazing. I mean, he's one of the better options on this slate now. That's for sure. Texas is not very good. Get him outside of Texas. It's still a hitting ballpark, but it's not going to be 105 degrees here. Is it? No, 85. So yeah, I mean he's decent. I just hate pitching a dude that I don't think can go 8 innings. I know for a fact he can't go 8 innings. It's again like he just can't do that. It's impossible for him. Cannot throw enough strikes to go 8 innings. And Minor is a complete dog crap. And I believe he got negative points against them last time we played him. I think. Let me look. I know they already played him. No, he got a 13. It's not bad. It's a lefty. That's when it was really bad against lefties. They've been much better recently against lefties. I'm not going to play Mike Minor against Boston. I'll pass on that.
Yeah, I've done that once this year. It was one too much. Definitely not doing it in Boston. I think I did it like it was a cooler night in Arlington earlier, and like it was like a 4-game slate. He didn't do terrible. Like I think he was very cheap. That they did okay for his price, but it's just not fun to sweat pitchers against Boston. It's just not fun. This looks like a great spot for the Red Sox. I know that they're struggling against lefties, but I think them being at home, they've been better, and I think them being at home outweighs that.
The bottom. It went from the bottom to now the middle.
They started from the bottom. The last month, now they're here.
They're at the top. Yeah,
they started from the bottom.
Only the last month, they're at the top.
Now their whole team's here. Like
in the middle.
Like how I did that right there. Started from the bottom. Now they're here.
Now they're in the middle.
Now they're in the middle. Yeah, but the Red Sox definitely in play, especially with Steve Pearce. I think that was a great addition for them actually, because like that's a guy that can really get you going. Like lefty specialist. You know what I'm saying? I think
better than Hanley Ramirez.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And you play a righty, it's Moreland. You play a lefty, it's Pearce.
Yeah, and like I think Moreland is good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's quite as good as some of the other guys on his team. Like he's just not a guy. You keep him in there against a lefty. Now you got him, Devers, and Benintendi, and maybe even Jackie Bradley. You just have too many lefties. There's just too many in there, So it was a nice platoon player they picked up. Obviously, Mookie, JD. Pierce, Bogart, all these guys are definitely in play against Minor. And if you think that's gonna work, and you're gonna do a full stack of Boston, like we always say, if your stack's gonna work, then Minor shouldn't be in the game all that long, and so you shouldn't be worried about skipping over some of those lefties because they may get some at bats at righties coming up. And Erod, I mean, so far, I know this is only the 3rd game, but so far he seems like I could buy into that. Texas, like you said, a little worse on the road. They've been striking out a little bit more lately. And yeah, 100%. All the guys that I love to play from Texas are left-handed, and they're not very good against lefties. So, Erod definitely an option, I think. We just have to check. Was he hurt or something? Right? Like he was, right?
No, he's good. He's been pitching for a while now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And look what team he went off against. Washington.
Yeah, the Nationals.
Washington is bad right now.
Yeah, they are. He's had some decent looking games. I think we could rock with him. Next up, Francisco Liriano with the Detroit Tigers visiting Chris Archer, making his return from the DL. Total here is 7.5. Tampa Bay minus 180 at home. Castellanos missed today, Cash. He got scratched late with an injury.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Yes.
I played my boy.
Pippins Dirks, you did. and he balled out. Chris Archer, we got to see if there's a pitch count. Got to see what's going on. Check out his rehab starts. But 8-1 at home, where we like him, against a Tigers team that could potentially again be without Nick Castellanos. Their only good hitter right now, with Leonard Martin on the DL and Miggy done for the season. What do you think?
Well, I would love Archer here. If I'm going to pitch Austin Bivens Dirk, he was my favorite pitcher of the slate, by the way. If I'm going to pitch him, I would love Chris Archer, but there is going to be a pitch count. He's not going to probably go over 75 pitches, and I'm just not going to do it. Even against Detroit, which is bad, not just a no for me. And Liriano is another dude like Erod that I just rarely ever pitch. I mean, ever. Because he can lose it. He could be pitching well and just lose it and can't throw a strike for nothing. But Tampa Bay sucks. So this is probably I'll just stay away and just hope this game ends 1-0. and the pitchers don't go off.
I was going to say without too many strikeouts.
Exactly.
Yeah, looking into Archer, it's obviously very tempting, and he's only 8-1. He's not like a crazy high price tag, but I agree with you. He's got to be on a pitch count. He had one minor league rehab start. It was on July 3rd in A+ ball. He went 4 innings. He struck out 7 guys, only 1 walk, no hits. So he was dominant. It was single, it's A+. You don't want to, he should be dominant. Yeah. But that goes to show you that he seems healthy, he seems okay. Problem is the 4 innings thing. That's putting a cap on his upside. That's not even enough to get you a win if his team somehow pulls out a lead. So the upside definitely.
It says that the manager said he'll probably be limited to around 75.
Oof, that's rough. Tempting against the Tigers because everybody's been dominating these guys. But tough.
I mean, you never know. If he's dominating, maybe they let him go 85, and in 85 pitches. Maybe he can do what he needs to do to...
85 would be enough for him to at least go the 5 innings. Potentially, if his team could pull up the win. And they had no problem hitting the Mets bullpen today. I don't think Liriano's all that good. So if they were able to get him a lead, he was able to go 5 innings on the 80, 85 pitches. He could actually... He has some upside in that price at 8-1. But only because it's the Tigers. And he's actually... We know who he is and he pitches well at home. But... It's tough to take the chance because we're sitting here we already were told the limit, and in our heads we're like, well, if you extend that limit, and it's just we're just hoping the dude's gonna they said 75, but we're just hoping that maybe they'll throw 80, maybe they'll throw 85. But it's tempting at 8-1 against the Tigers. Just looking at it, Chris Archer at home against the Tigers just looks juicy, but the pitch count's gonna hurt us for sure. And I'm not into Liriano. I think Ramos. Shout out to Ice Egg Nation member John Irving. We had the Y stream earlier today, and he called out a CK013. I heard from the other members of the nation that he was in the chat all morning talking about Crone, and 3-run bomb from Crone. So that was some props there. But yeah, Ramos, Crone, Robertson. Really anybody. The only problem with Liriano is he throws so many balls. So it's you got to take a team that's if you take a team that's impatient, you could actually get into some trouble with Liriano. You know what I mean? If you pull out a bunch of guys that are just going to swing at bad pitches, let me just check. Oof. Oh, no, I'm looking at the Tigers. The Tigers are a very impatient team, by the way. It's not the worst.
It's not terrible. You got Gomez, but
yeah,
down the 8-hole.
Robertson and Bowers have really good walk rates. They'll probably walk 3 times. If they see Liriano 3 times, they'll probably walk 3 times. That's the kind of pitcher Liriano is. But I do think the Rays are in play. They do seem relatively hot. And believe it or not, Cash, we discovered this with Cam, I think. The Rays are one of the top teams in WRC Plus at home. You believe that? Tampa Bay Rays. I think they were top 5.
Oh, I can believe it. I play the Rays, goddamn. The Rays are my Padres this year.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So, yeah, the Rays offense definitely in play.
I wish I played them more today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did work today. For sure. Against Patio Joe's boy, Chris Flexen. He does the flex.
I think Wendell had a 30.
He did. He had a monster day. He did. Anthony Desclafani of the Cincinnati Reds visiting Mike Clevenger of the Cleveland Indians. Total in this game, 9. Cleveland minus 173 at homes. 86 degrees, 52% humidity. Damn good day for baseball. In Cleveland, Ohio. You know, it's the hometown of Tommy SB, Mr. Shake and Bake. He's a Clevelander. What do you got?
Well, Mike Clevenger is not playing the White Sox today, so that's a no. Not going to pitch him at 11-5. I'll pass. And I can't even pronounce this guy's name ever.
That's
Mr. Anthony?
Mr. Anthony.
No. Not against these Indians at home. He has a 40.4% hard contact to lefties with a 42.2% fly ball percentage. And he's given up, I believe it was close to 3 home runs per 9. Oh, yeah, 2.8 home runs per 9. I would say that's a big no. I will pass. That's a 21% K percentage, but no. I like the Indians. I think they suck today. I wouldn't know because I didn't play them. But I think Lindor got a 0, and maybe Ramirez got a 3. And
they did suck today. I can confirm that for you.
But I would go right back here. Like Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, that's just marvelous. That top 3, that's a beautiful stack against this guy. Oh, man. Kipnis, Alonso. You could play literally all of them except probably Gomes. I don't know much about Greg Allen, but I could damn sure play Naquin if he's in there because I love that guy. So, yeah, I like them, and I'm probably not going to pick on Clevenger. What's it? It's 86, 8 miles an hour. Probably not. Even though Suarez did me well today. I could play Suarez against anybody. If I play one bat, it'll probably be him, and he's righty on righty, so I don't know.
Yeah, man, I think I'm a no-go on Clevenger. Also, he's just too expensive. Cincinnati, not a team that strikes out a lot, especially against righties. And the Cleveland offense looks really, really good in this spot. They are at home where we like them. Desclafani, I know you gave some good numbers. Just to add to those numbers, Cash, he has a 317 ISO against lefties. Just savage. And... And like you mentioned, his 40.4% hard contact rate to lefties. Even though he hasn't been as bad to lefties, he has a 47.3% hard contact rate to righties. I worded that wrong. You know what I meant. But like, yeah. So he's been 40.4 to lefties. Obviously bad. His numbers are terrible. But it's actually he's got a higher hard contact rate against righties. And so it looks like you could attack him from all around. I say play all the guys you've said, plus Gomes. Why not? Throw his name in the hat. Let's do it. Everybody.
I mean, I would rather go to E5, but...
Yeah, no, it's true.
I feel
E5.
I could play Gomes.
I think we can do it. Desclafani has looked terrible against the White Sox. Now, granted, the White Sox were hot, and they were playing in his ballpark, which is terrible. But, like, he just looked horrible. But Palka hit 2 home runs. Palka came out the woodwork. That dude wasn't doing nothing. He's the hot starter. When you face Desclafani, you go on a tear. You just get hot all of a sudden. I'm telling you, this is just what happens, man.
But like I understand, like that's at home. I love that ballpark. It's my favorite ballpark.
Yes.
But if you really look at it, the Indians at home is probably just as bad as the White Sox in Great American's ballpark. You know what I'm saying? Right. Exactly. Like, these guys could just, oh my God, like Lindor and Ramirez could go double dong.
Yes.
E5 double dong. Like, oof.
Yes. Things can get ugly. So we don't have a problem. On this slate, we got a lot of offenses we like. We talked about the Red Sox. We got Cleveland. The offense ain't the problem. It's just a matter of finding those pitchers. And, of course, I'm fine with playing the Reds. I think Schebler's in a pretty good spot, although he screwed me last time I played him.
I don't think I would do it, man. Like, Clevenger is just not giving up any home runs to lefties. Like, none. Almost none. A 0.2 home runs per 9 to lefties.
Yeah, but I think it's coming. I would do it. I think he's still got a 36% fly ball rate. I think it could happen.
I mean, yeah, he's still his hard contact rate is a little up there too. Oh no, I'm at 32. That's not bad. A lot of medium contact, but so I don't think I would do it.
This is what I'll leave you with Schebler. Clevenger averages about 93 miles an hour on his fastball. So on fastballs, between 92 and 94 miles per hour. Scott Schebler has a 380 ISO. We're talking about 68 batted ball events. A 360 ISO, a 48.48% hard contact rate, an average distance of 339.43, and a ground ball rate of only 34.85. This is a pitch that this man throws 53% of the time. So he is one lefty that I think may take him deep.
How about Suarez?
Suarez,
that's my dude, man. I love that guy to death.
Yes, and he's having a pretty good season. Only a 164 ISO across 86 batted ball events, a 29% hard contact rate, an average distance of 270, and a ground ball rate of 30%.
So I would say Schebler is better.
According to those numbers specifically. Obviously, Suarez, he had a home run today off Lester. He's the kind of guy that if Suarez gets hot, while he's not a consistent player, when he does get hot, he's one of those guys that can hit him off anybody. But, that was the only reason I mentioned Schebler specifically, because I happened to click on that. I looked at it, and I was just like, Scott Schebler. Maybe.
I mean, Clemency's going to see a lot of lefties.
He is. He's going to see a lot of lefties. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6 lefties.
Yes. He's going to see a lot of lefties. But I agree, he's not typically a guy I like to pick on by any means. It's just, I don't want to pitch him, doesn't mean I want to pick on him. You know?
Exactly. He's he's a better real life pitcher than fantasy pitcher, unless he pitches against the White Sox. Pitch against the White Sox, you play him.
You play him against the White Sox. I've learned that 3 times this season. That's a lesson I learned 3 times this season. Next up, we got Danny Duffy, our boy Cash. Danny Duffy of the Kansas City Royals visiting Jose Berrios, who is at home of the Minnesota Twins. Total in this game, 8.5. Minnesota minus 197, which I found out is Cash's number, man. 7 is your number, bro. 7-7? Your birthday? Come on now. I didn't even realize that. 87 degrees, 37% humidity in Minnesota. Minnesota, they struggled against Cobb, and they finally just erupted. They had this one monster inning where Brian Dozier led off the inning with a double and ended the inning with a home run. Well, he didn't end the inning, but he hit a home run. He batted around, hit a double, and then hit a home run. But by the time the inning was over. What do you got?
How do they not have Garver in the projected lineup? Like, Garver is still hot. I think he's the hottest catcher in baseball.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I would assume that.
I would think they would too. We all know what Danny Duffy is. Like, Danny Duffy will come in and be good against lefties, and he could just get absolutely obliterated by righties. On this slate, he's in consideration because this slate blows. Danny Duffy is a decent pitcher. He's 5'8". Like you said, Minnesota can struggle. I would be scared if I pitched Danny Duffy, but I could do it. And Berrios is my favorite pitcher on the slate. He's at home. It's the Royals. I would play anybody against the Royals. I don't care who they are. I will play anybody against the Royals. They are absolute dog shit. So give me anybody against the Royals. And he's at home. I love him. I love him today.
Oh, yeah. We know this man's home and road splits are just crazy. We've said it repeatedly on the Y streams and articles, podcasts. His home and road split, I don't understand. It's drastic. We're talking drastic. Wild. Right?
And remember was talking about after the show, like, he's been better on the road, and then he came out and was bad. And
then he did. He went down like a bag of D's. He did. But yeah, 12-1 is very expensive. If I can find a cheap guy, I don't mind it. I want to pitch Berrios. It's just a matter of, am I going to be able to get some of these bats I want? We already identified a couple really expensive offenses. So if we can find some cheaper offenses, I'm all on board. If not, I'm going to have to find a cheap SP2. And as crazy as this may sound to some of you guys, Danny Duffy is actually one of those guys that I'm kind of like looking at from a distance. You know what I'm saying? It's like Danny Duffy is the chick, the ugly chick at the bar, as they say. That's at a distance. You drink one beer. You go through the lineups once, that's the equivalent to a beer. So you go through the lineups, that's one beer. Looking a little bit better. 2, looking a little bit better. 3, all of a sudden, the finest woman in the room. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think, the way I'm going to feel about Danny Duffy. My first look, I was like, maybe, but probably not. My second look, I was like, but Berrios looks so good, though. I think I will take a Duffy. And then it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm slowly talking myself into it.
All it takes is just looking at every pitcher on the slate and be like, well,
that's exactly.
Danny Duffy he's one of the better pitchers on this entire slate.
I mean, I know he was pitching really well.
Circumstances.
He pitched really well. His last game was against the Indians. I mean, give them right. Was it the Indians that beat him up?
Yeah. I think it was the Indians.
I mean, give him a break. He played like one of the best offenses in the league. You know what I'm saying? And he was bad though.
Like when he first came back, he was not healthy. He was getting just killed.
Yeah.
And then there came a point, just started pitching better. Better. His last 2 bad games is against Houston and Indians.
Yeah, and he even bounced back against Houston. The next start he had, he bounced back against Houston and put up a 23.
Yeah.
So I think I'm with it. The Twins have been hitting lefties better. I'll acknowledge that, but they are still a team they're still better against righties. You still want them against righties more than you want them against lefties. So yeah, I think I'm with you. I think that Duffy and Berrios, that's quite the attractive combination. You know, when you think of you're getting the upside of Berrios and the value of Duffy, you should be able to afford at least some of these bats you want. But it's always tough to take a pitcher in the same game because only one of them can get the win. You know what I mean? So it's like,
well, I mean, you hope that you're at least guaranteed a win.
Yeah, I know. There's a chance neither of them do it.
I know that sucks when you do it. When you do that, it really sucks.
That does suck. You're right. It could always be worse. The grass ain't always greener. I like that, Cash. Next up, Frankie Montas of the Oakland Athletics visiting Garrett Cole of the Houston Astros. Total here is 8.5. Houston minus 243 at home. 88 degrees, 63% humidity. Houston actually, they appreciate their fans, so they'll probably close the roof in an effort to keep the game comfortable as possible. What do you
got? Montas, there's no way. At 8-9 on the road against this team that killed him last time out? No. They killed him in Oakland. Like, just no. That's a big no. That's not even a thought. He should be extremely low owned at 8-9 in Houston. Extremely low owned. Unless Houston just throws out some terrible lineup. I wouldn't even consider him. And then Cole, like, he did not have a good game in Oakland. Like, he gave up a few home runs, I remember. His team was just so far ahead. Like, they were winning by it was like 10-0 in like the second inning against Montas. It was crazy. So maybe he wasn't pitching up to his full capabilities. He was just trying to coast, and they got to him. But I'm still on the train. I'm just not pitching these aces that are 13K for Houston. It's worked out beautifully, and I will continue to do it. So I'm not going to pitch him. He's the best pitcher on the slate. Like, he could go out and strike out 12 A's. There's no doubt about it, but I'll pass, and that's just what I'm going to do because I'm not playing these guys, and I continue not to play these guys.
Hey, man, it makes sense. I'm with you. Garrett Cole, crazy expensive. But before I talk about Garrett Cole, am I missing something on Montas here? Like did I miss some kind of memo or message? How is this dude? He was 6'6" in his last game against Cleveland. He did not do well. He's playing Houston.
This is the most expensive he's been.
What happened? Like, I'm looking at his game logs. I'm like, oh, he must have went out there and he must have just smashed recently. And like, the only good games he's had this season,
Padres, Kansas City, 2 against the Royals. His first 3 games were good.
Yeah. I mean, like, he did play the D-backs while he was 4K that day, but the D-backs were really struggling at that point. Like, that was back in May 27th. That was like the D-backs were like
his first start.
His first start. Then 2 games against the Royals. Of course he did well. It's the Royals. And then he played the Padres. The Padres recently. Did well against the Padres in San Diego. He got his teeth kicked in by Detroit, of all teams. I don't know.
Yeah, but like you said, like, how is he 6'7" in San Diego, but he's 8'9" in Houston? Like, what are we doing here? Like, we're talking about one of the worst offenses compared to one of the best in a pitcher's ballpark. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. He should literally be 1% owned. If he's not 1% owned, like, there's just something wrong.
He should be like 5K, tempting people who are desperate for value that don't want to pitch Duffy. But instead, he's at 8-9. He's in the untouchable range. And you're right. Nobody's going to play him. And I'm not. I mean, I'm not.
If you want a low-owned pitcher, go ahead and do that.
If ownership means that much to you, I tell you what, if he goes out there and somehow dominates We're gonna get so
It's
much
gonna be
shit
nuts.
tomorrow. We're gonna get so much shit tomorrow. No, we are. But I don't
Hey,
get
man,
it.
if you have the balls to pitch him, I will salute you.
I'll give you a like on a tweet. But yeah, Garrett Cole 13-1. I think I'd rather go to Barrios. Plus the A's have been hot. They're on they've been winning a lot lately. They've been pretty hot. I wouldn't mind trying to locate some of these A's, like Chris Davis or something like that. Like I wouldn't mind trying.
Yeah,
Davis been hot.
I agree. I would much rather play the A's than play Cole.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion.
Me too. I'd rather take the leverage shot on the A's, and at the same time, I just don't want to pick 13-1 for Cole. Next up, Clayton Kershaw of Patio Joe's Los Angeles Dodgers, visiting Luis Perdomo of those San Diego Padres. Total here is 7. The Dodgers minus 242 at home. 75 degrees, 66% humidity. Looks like the heat wave may finally be ending out there in LA, but maybe not. It is going to be nice. But I know they've been going through some crazy-ass heat waves. So, what do you got?
Well, I don't pitch Clayton Kershaw. I'm not going to pitch him against the Padres either. That might backfire. I don't pitch Clayton Kershaw. I haven't for over a year, and I'm going to continue to do it. I do not think he will ever be the Clayton Kershaw that he was. I do think that he can still be very good. He just will never be the most dominant force to ever touch a mound ever again, I don't think. And at 12-9, I don't know what his pitch limit will be through 74. I would think maybe he could get to 90. I don't know. Maybe they want to baby him because they're right back into playoff chase because everybody else in their division sucks. So I don't pitch Clayton Kershaw. It's just as simple as that. And Perdomo is also coming off an injury. What did he throw? He threw something like 91 pitches, I think it was. 91 pitches. That's a lot of pitches. Not for coming off the DL from, what was that, 418? It's just a terrible matchup for him. The guy I'd normally like to pitch at home, but against these Dodgers, I don't think you could do it even at 4 or 5. Really cheap, but that's super scary. I love the Dodgers here. Muncy, Bellinger, you could just name them off. Jock, Kemp coming back to San Diego. I love Kemp today. Grandal, just all of them. All of them except Kike.
The Dodgers have destroyed Perdomo's life whenever these guys meet, man. Like, I'm looking at his game logs, like, since 2016, the last decent game was July 9th, 2016. He gave up 2 earned runs. He went 6 innings, 3 Ks. Like, that was the best game he ever had against the Dodgers. Since then, he has not given up less than 5 earned runs when he has faced the Dodgers, including earlier this year, April 18th, when the Dodgers put up 7
Hold on.
runs.
Before you say that,
Yeah.
I'll give him a pass on that because he might have been hurt that game because that was his last game before hitting the DL. So
Yes.
I'll let him slide on that one. But no, I agree with you.
Yes.
It's not going to end well for Perdomo today.
Yes.
It's just a game.
I like the Dodgers again. The Dodgers, they made me a lot of money in the first 2 games of the Pirates series. They've lost me a lot of money since because I kept playing them and they stopped hitting.
Hey man, they destroyed me Friday. I love them so much on Friday.
Me too.
Oh.
I went down with you on that one. I like them as well, but they've owned Perdomo. They really have, and I think it's more than just Perdomo sucks. I think it's just a profiling thing. I think that they match up well against Perdomo's pitch types. Perdomo is a sinker baller. That is a pitch that the Dodgers as a team destroy. Jock Peterson has a 281 ISO against sinkers. Cody Bellinger has a 273 ISO against sinkers. Yasmani Grandal, your boy Cash. Yasmani Grandal has a 370 ISO against sinkers. And this guy throws about 52% of the time he throws sinkers. He does throw sliders, and like that's where the Dodgers have been sucking lately. Guys have been getting him to strike out with sliders. And like the whiff rates on these Dodgers with their sliders, like all of them have great power numbers when they make contact. However, in addition to these great 200 ISOs they have against the slider, most of them have whiff rates in the 40s. So like that's kind of the issue. Unfortunately, Perdomo's whiff rate on his slider currently is 43%. So that's what like gives you that little hint of like if I'm doing, say I was doing 3 lineups and I was doing 2 Dodger stacks, I would probably throw Perdomo in the third because that's how they've been getting beat. We saw them against that kid Pena. They were striking out so much. Oh, because the slider, either they hit it or they miss completely. That's just either they mash it or they just completely miss. It's wild. But I lean towards the Dodgers because they've just owned him in the past his entire career. I would just think that they must have a good read on him. So I lean towards the Dodgers. Yeah.
My hope is that San Diego Padres on a long homestand, and they absolutely kill Perdomo, so he can come back next game and still be really cheap, 4-5.
Against like
gets a good matchup.
Offense. Yes, like against the Tigers somehow.
I could just
like,
go there.
That'd be awesome.
That's my hope.
Yeah, no, I know, I'm with you. But yeah, I think the Dodgers are certainly in play, although something we have to consider with Perdomo. He is throwing a lot of sliders, about 33%, and that's a pitch the Dodgers. They crush, but they also miss. I think I lean towards the Dodgers for sure, though. And then Kershaw, man, like if we didn't have Berrios, I'd be a little more tempted because I agree. Kershaw just doesn't look right. It's like I know, like if you look at his numbers, they really don't look bad, like his xFIP and all that kind of stuff. But you don't understand like how is that possible? Like he's not really striking guys out. Like he's not like how are his numbers not dropping like drastically? And 12-9 is just too expensive to take a chance. But it is the Padres. The problem is the Padres have actually been hitting lately. Will Myers has been on a tear, man. That guy has been red hot. He hit 3 home runs yesterday. Masher. Yeah, 3 home runs the other day. Then he hit another home run today. The guy has just been a freak. We know Hunter Renfroe and his reputation against lefties. Christian Villanueva can only hit lefties. That's all he hits. and Kershaw doesn't throw hard, which is kind of like these guys' MO. I expect Kershaw to do well. Do I think he can do 12-9 well? Like you said, I don't know if he can right now. And I don't know if the Dodgers want him to right now. The Dodgers like go out there, let me see you pitch decent. I'm going to pull you as early as I can because I like you said, they're contending again and they're going to want him for the playoffs. So they're not going to push him against a team like the Padres, especially not if they get a massive lead, which I think they will. So because we have Berrios, if I'm going to pay up, I think I'm going to hang my hat on Mr. Berrios and take a pass on Clayton Kershaw as well at 12.
Everybody needs to stop playing Clayton Kershaw. Like the dude has scored over 22 on DK one time this entire year, and he's always expensive. He is only expensive because of his name. He is not the most dominant pitcher. I don't even think he's in the top 10 in baseball right now as a pitcher. Just don't play Clayton Kershaw. Just don't do it. Dude has one game over 22. One.
Yes. Agreed. Last game here, Cash. We got Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs visiting Andrew Suarez, the lefty from the San Francisco Giants. That's Johnny. The freak San Francisco Giants, that is. The Cubs are actually favored minus 106 here. 69 degrees, 56% humidity, 10 mile per hour winds blowing out to center in San Francisco. What do you got?
Suarez. Don't think the guy's very good, but he's been pitching pretty well. He does have one nasty pitch, and the rest are very pedestrian. They pretty much suck. It's a great park. He's 8K. The Cubs can strike out with the best of them, especially when they suck. He's an option. Probably not for me, just because I do not respect him. I don't think he's very good. And then on the other side, Hendricks, I won't play a guy that walks more guys and he strikes out. I just can't do it. Even in this park, I will just pass. He has been much better with the walks lately, but it's a no. It's a no for me, and I hate bats in this park. I would much rather take righties, so I would probably look to the Cubs before I would look to the Giants. So, yeah. I don't know. The one Giants bat I would play is Belt because he's a beast and he can get out of this park against Hendricks, but Hendricks also don't give him any home runs, so I'll say no.
Yeah, there's probably one thing I like in this game. One person I like in this game. And that man is Javier Baez. He's crazy expensive. But that man has been hot. And he's not just hitting. He's like doing the stolen bases. This man is stealing home. He's stealing home. And he's doing his crazy slides where he's getting in around the tags. He's just got it going right now. We love him against lefties. He's crazy expensive, I know. But he has been so hot, man. He has been so hot. It's going to be very, like, it's unrealistic of me to be able to afford to do a Javi Baez one-off. It's kind of unrealistic for me to just assume I can make that happen, especially when the stacks that I like are all crazy expensive, like the Dodgers and the Indians. But, like, a guy could dream. And Javi Baez is like,
Javi Baez
just
is
been
in your
awesome.
dreams tonight.
He is, man. He is. And, like, you know, I'm not ashamed to admit it. He's been really good. And also, just to throw it out, number one, we like him against lefties. We like him against righties too, but we like him against lefties more. And so Suarez throws 92 point. His velocity on his fastball about 92ish, right? A little over 92. He throws about 52% of the time. Fastballs in the 92 to 94 range. Javi Baez on 67 batted ball events has a 519 ISO. 519 ISO with a 51.52% hard contact rate, a 351 distance, and a 34.85% ground ball rate. I know it's a big park, but like I said, Javi can do it all, man. If he can't hit home runs, he can hit doubles, and when he gets some doubles, he'll steal a third. He can steal home, Cash. This man is stealing home on people. He's just this man is a criminal. But yeah,
Suarez
that's
gives
the
up
case.
Massive contact to righties. We all know that.
Yeah, man. I mean, his swinging, like, I don't know. Like, Suarez, his xFIP looks good. His ground ball rate looks all right. But, I mean, he's got a 7.9% swinging strike rate. That's just so ugly. It's so foul.
And almost a 50% hard contact rate.
Right. You know, he is pitching in this park, so you got to give him that. That's why I'm not too big on the Cubs. He has been better, yes. That's why I'm not too big on the Cubs. But Javi Baez, he's just been playing out of his mind. And so he was just the one guy. Aside from that, I'm with you. There's really nothing else. I don't really want the pitchers. I don't want too many Cubs because it is a huge ballpark. I don't want too many Giants because Kyle Hendricks, as bad as he is, he's never really the guy that gets his ass kicked. He's just a guy that just isn't great for DFS and doesn't really get his ass kicked. He's just a mood killer is what he is.
Contreras is very hot too, but he might not play traveling across the country. And I don't know if he caught yesterday or not, but I just know he played.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure
he's hot too.
Yeah, he is. And it could be a nice little mini stack if you look at it that way. Now you're talking me into some Cubbies, man. See, all I said was bias. Hey, now you got me thinking. You know what I mean?
I don't mind righties in this park.
You throw Amora in there. He's been having a good season this year. Things start moving up there. But the Giants, I'm not too big on, except for Brandon Belt, maybe Brandon Crawford. The two Brandons, Brandon squared, basically it. But anyway,
Brandon Belt is so good.
He's a strong mother sucker. That is going to do it for the game-by-game breakdown. At this time, I'm going to remind everybody, if you haven't already, check us out at wisec.com. I don't know what you're waiting for. Come see what the nation is all about. We are a DFS community, all about the community. We have content, but at the end of the day, we are really a community. We got guys that are just coming here learning. They're touting their own plays in the chat and doing well, and it's a lot of fun, man. Guys getting on each other. It's what we are. Like I said, it's not about just the content. We provide great content, but it's not just about the content. It's a whole community thing. If you just want content, we got that too, though. But come rock with us. See what the chat's all about. See what the strategy session's all about. We will have a strategy session tomorrow about 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll have an article, a GPP article from Mr. CashinDFS, Cash Game article from Johnny the Freak. We'll have the Y stream at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, as we always do. Hour and a half before lock. Kind of like this show, except after. This is our first look. This is after we've done our research. Cam's cheat sheets. I don't think he's back from the DR yet. When he's back from the Dominican Republic, the cheat sheets will be back. For now, Cam is out there doing. He's practicing for when he's rich and a doctor and going on vacations. Then he's getting that in. You know, he's getting his tan on, all that good stuff. But eventually, when he comes back, we'll have the cheat sheets back. And but anyway, guys, come rock with us. See what it's all about. If you're into mass multi-entry, we do have our own projections. You can get a day pass download our projections and upload them to the optimizer of your choice and go nuts with the Wise Take flavor on it. $2.50, all it costs to try us out for a day. Get yourself a day pass. That's $2.50. You get access to all MLB content for the entire day. No excuses not to rock with the Wise Take Nation. You know you want to. All right, Cass, let's do some top threes, please. This is going to be fun. Who are your top three pitchers tomorrow?
Um. Oh boy. Uh, Barrios is number one. Ah, da, da. I was. Oh man. Oh man. This is bad. Oh, I can't even believe I'm gonna say this guy. I don't want to say that guy. Duffy is number two. Oh man, I'm gonna say Nova, and I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I don't want to play him against all these lefties, but it's in a huge park. I'm gonna say Nova. Washington's probably gonna go off, but I'm gonna say Nova. And one of my home run, one of my favorite home runs is on Washington.
You hear this noise? You hear that?
What's that?
That's your nuts on the table, bro. Ivan Nova. That's what that is. That's your nuts on the table. Ivan Nova. My top threes. I do like Barrios, although honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. I do want to play him. It's just he's really expensive. But I'll go Barrios somewhere between Erod and Chase Anderson. Right now, I lean towards Erod. I think he has more upside. But the game total is a lot higher in that game. That scares me. And then the third pitcher, I'll go with Danny Duffy. If we're desperate, if I do pitch Barrios, I'm going to need Danny Duffy. So it's either Barrios and Duffy, or it's like a Erod, Chase Anderson kind of thing. That's what I'm probably going to rock with tomorrow. At least what I'm thinking now. We'll see if something else opens up tomorrow. Top three stacks, Cash. What do you got?
The top two are really, really close. The Indians are the Dodgers, and then I will say the Red Sox. Three super expensive stacks.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. That's kind of, I'm hoping maybe everybody pays up and I can get away with settling for that mid tier and win all that dough. I'm with you. The Dodgers, the Cleveland Indians, and the Boston Red Sox, I would rank in that order, in fact. But yeah, those are the guys I like too. And like, they're going to be the most popular offenses. They will be like what people want to play. The question is, how many people are going to try to pay all the way up? How many people are going to settle for the mid-tier? Like, how much salary can people have? Because you can't stack all those teams together. They're too expensive. So decisions must be made.
I think Cole is going to be popular and Barrios. I don't know why Kershaw. I don't know. I think people might be scared off.
I think that, I think advanced DFS players might be scared off, but I think that the casual, like, in and out kind of people, they might do it because of the name. It's the Padres, it's Kershaw, let's go, you know? But I agree. I think that the people who do play every day, whether they're, you know, what do you want to call them, skilled or not, the people that play every day, I agree. They might be a little hesitant to go to Kershaw. They might be more inclined to go to a Barrios. Even at Clevenger, a lot of people like to play Clevenger. So many people like to play him. I will play him against the White Sox.
They should learn really quick that you play him against one team and one team only.
The White Sox. We've learned very quickly. Dog watch, Cash. Who's hitting home run tomorrow?
Jose Ramirez. No
like
doubt. I mean, God almighty, he has to.
I'm going with the boy, Yasmani Grandal.
I hope so. I'm going to say Matt Adams. It's a home run off of Nova.
He had a great profile against Nova. He does. And that's something that you'll get on the live stream, the strategy session tomorrow, guys. Come rock with us. I'm telling you, it's a great thing. Ask around. If you don't know, ask. They'll tell you. I will go with... I guess I'll go with Lindor. I mean, let's go Chalk City here. Because, realistically, like I said, as chalky as these guys may be, people can't afford to play them together. That's going to be the trick. How can you afford to get these back? Because these guys are going to go nutty. What's your last pick?
I'm going to kind of get a little wild here. And I'm going to say Matt Olson. No. Let me not do that. Cole has been so freaking good against lefties. I'm taking that back. I'll take that back. Yeah, he's been freaking dominant to lefties. I'll take that back. Who do I want? Tyler Naquin.
Tyler Naquin. I am going to go with... Just pull this thing up. I I have said this guy's name several times lately, and he's not done the dirty for me. He did the dirty for me a couple days. I'm not trying to hate too much. But Cody Bellinger, this has got to be like the fourth time in the last like 5 shows that I've called a home run from him, and he's only come through once. But I'm going to hope he comes through again. Cody Bellinger. Patio Joe, tell your Dodgers to do the work. And that is going to do it for the Wise Take DFS podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a like and a share to support the Wise Take Nation. If you are watching on Twitch or Twitter, give us a follow. Give us a retweet. And if you're listening to us on Podbean or iTunes, give us some 5-star reviews. Help bump us up those charts. Support the Wise Take Nation. And the way you support the Wise Take Nation is to show a little bit of love to the Wise Take Nation. Whatever platform you are watching on, just show us a little bit of love. I mean, it goes a long way with us. We really do appreciate it. It allows us to continue to do these shows for free for you guys, and we don't want to stop. We don't want to stop. I know Cash don't want to stop. We've had conversations about not wanting to stop, and my man Cash don't stop. Cash, anything in closing, my man, before we get up out of here?
Max Muncy was in the majors for a long time last year.
I mean, he played for the A's like off and on. Right?
He had to have been in the majors a lot longer than I thought. Like, this dude is like a career minor league player. Yeah, like, his whole career has been in the minor leagues.
He's like a chubby dude, too. You seen him?
He's just meshing. Like, he just changed his swing, and he's... God, this guy's such a beast.
He looks like
I just want to say, I love that guy.
He's got a dope name, too, Max Muncy. Like, he's got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like an old, like enforcer for the mafia, Max Muncy. You know what I mean? I like it. He's a beast. So, for CashinDFS, for myself, the entire Wise Take Nation, as always, good luck.